Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Shannon, and I'm here to show you how to test for the presence of different abiotic factors when you have a liquid indicator or liquid testing kit. So the strips, all we had to do was dip it in. For this one, it does require a little bit extra. Make sure you are wearing your goggles because we are dealing with liquid chemicals and we don't want them to splash up. And make sure that you have your gloves on for this test so they don't, so the liquid chemicals don't get on your skin. So for this one, what you're going to do is you need to take a sample of your sample. What I mean by that is you had already poured a small amount into your cup, about the 25 milliliters like I showed you on the testing strip, and then you're going to need a test tube. And in the test tube, you're going to want to put 5 milliliters. Now, I have little pipettes to use to get the water, and they are measured. I'll see if I can get this close enough. They have little lines on it to help you see how much is in there. And it doesn't have to be exactly 5. It could end up being 5.1 or 4.9. That's fine. But you do want to try to get as close to 5 as possible. So this one right here, this has about 2.5 in it. And so I'll do another 2.5. Okay, and so we have about 5 milliliters. That's about how much it should look like. Okay, now make sure that you are reading the type of chemical you're using. For instance, and they're different colors too, this is phosphate. This is ammonia. Some of them have 2 bottles. Some of them say bottle 1 and bottle 2. If that's the case, you're going to need both bottles to do that test. I believe ammonia, phosphate are the 2 that you will need 2 bottles for. If you're using nitrite or the pH bottle over here, you do not need to use 2 bottles for it. You'll just do 1 test. Now for the ones that are 2 bottles, what you're going to do is you're going to take bottle 1 and you're going to add the number of drops it says to add. And it will say on the bottle how many drops to add. If it's not on the bottle, if it's a different brand, use the instructions that came with it to find out. There's also detailed instructions about the order to do this that are written up that are going to be provided with each of these tests. So to open it, you push the little red down according to the directions with one hand, push that red cap down, and unscrew it with the other hand. And so bottle 1 on this one says to add 8 drops for ammonia testing. So I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you don't want to squeeze so hard that you cannot count the droplets going in. Okay, and it says that the directions actually say to cap it. If you just swirl it vigorously, that should be sufficient just to make sure it's all even for a couple of seconds. Okay, and while that one has been shaken, we're going to put the lid back on tightly, and we're going to go on to bottle 2 because this is a 2-bottle tester. Bottle 2 also says 8 droplets. So I'm going to open it up by squeezing the red child cap with one hand and unscrewing it with the other. Hold it over the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and hopefully you notice that it's starting to change colors right now. And then you're going to again shake it. Shake it. Don't shake it up and down. There's no cap on it. Got it? Just swirl it around for a few seconds to make sure that it's all evenly distributed. That's the whole idea. And so once you've shaken it around for a few seconds, go ahead and let it sit for a minute, just so it can have time to react with the chemicals if it's going to react. These are indicators. That means that they react. There's going to be a chemical reaction if there's a presence of certain substances. Okay. Once it's sat for a minute, what you'll be ready to do is look at the color code chart. So you find the chemical you're dealing with, in this case ammonia. You may want to line it, put it against a white background. And you're going to want to find the color that it most closely matches. And in this case, I don't know if you can see on the video, I would probably go with, let's see, 0.5 maybe. Let me turn it around so I can see it. No, actually, it's a little bit higher. I would say it's probably about 2. So I'm going to try to turn this so you can see it's about 2 parts per million, ppm. And so that's what you would record. Now, please do not put this down the drain. I'm going to have a collection bin in my classroom to pour the samples down. You can rinse it off in the sink at your station, but initially pour the sample out into the collection bin. Mrs. John or another teacher might have you dispose of it differently, but if you're in Mrs. Shannon's class, you're going to be putting it into the disposal bucket, and I'll dispose of it, okay? I think that's it. When you're all finished, then you can take off your goggles, but make sure you're out at your desks and not at the lab stations. Make sure that the lids are tightly closed and put away when you are finished. If there is only one test to test for the presence of it, just add the one bottle, and it will tell you how many drops to add for it. Okay, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please ask, okay? If you are doing the test and you forget what this video showed you, please go back and watch the video again. That's the idea with these videos, is that you can go back while you're doing the test too and see how to do it if you get stuck. Okay?